guys, this is Akishla Pereira from Marketing Pod. Podcasting has always been my passion, as some people like to listen where others prefer to speak, just like me. That's why God invented podcast. Today, I'll be explaining what podcast is. Also, will be giving you 6 tips on how you could be an effective podcaster. A podcast is nothing but media files or video broadcasts that can be listened, watched, and downloaded over the internet that can be accessed from any portable device. It has a format feature similar to a radio or television show. Before thinking too much on how I should get started with a podcast, how do I get into iTunes, what hosting do I need, or how much is it going to cost me? The first thing you need to be is to have an idea and a format for your podcast, which means you need to come up with a name for your show, a title, what the show is going to be about, and whether it is going to be done on your own or with a co-host. Secondly, you need to start producing episodes for your show where you need some podcast gear equipment. And I recommend you to have a decent microphone, a pop filter, and some headphones. Also some types of audio editing software, where I recommend a software called Audacity for PC and GarageBand for Mac. I would recommend having 5 episodes for your podcast fully completed. This will help you get reviews and recommendations, which will give your broadcast so much reach, and make few more episodes and publish them every week. In that way, you will not feel like you're getting behind. Thirdly, add the artworks and assets for your podcast because it's going to help you make your podcast stand out and look different. In fourth, you need to know your audience. Don't be just sitting around and reading questions, but be active by going with the flow and having a bit of fun by making jokes to make it more enthusiastic. By doing so, there is a higher chance of gaining fans and faithful listeners. It also is good to know that what people expect from you. Next is the duration of podcasts, which is the 5th stage. A successful podcast should have a proper length. One of the data collected podcast hosting service, Omny Studio, collected data which showed that the longer the podcast, the less likely it is listened fully. But it also doesn't mean that it should be lasting only for 5 minutes. The average length of a podcast should be between 15 to 30 minutes. And the final step, which is the 6th step, is to be practice, especially when you're a beginner. Sometimes it may take a day, week, or even month to master the art of making a good podcast. But the more you practice and record the interviews, the more experience you get. Well, I hope this helps you, and I hope you learned a lot within the few minutes. If you have questions, leave those in the comment sections down below. Thank you.